Hello, this is David, and welcome to Equity Story. What we did, we actually said last night that we need to hold this sort of, or try and break above this 5,200 level. And today, I think we climbed as high as about nearly just under 5,200. At one stage, we were as high as I think it was roughly around sort of 5198. And then we got sold down again, which is, I think it's pretty negative. It just shows that the jitters in the market, and I think it's going to be hard to hold these levels tomorrow. We'll see what the Dow does tonight, but I think just, until Wednesday, till we get this Brexit vote over and done with, I can't see us holding these sort of levels. So I think we will trend down a little bit more over the next 3 or 4 days. Just having a look at some of the trending calls we've got on at the moment. Again, at SGR, we put this on. It's trading at 562. We put it on at 569. Not too far off really where we put it on. It's done actually pretty well. The market this week's down 3%, so it's really held up well. And I think once we start getting a little bit of momentum back into the market, I think hopefully SGR will start moving up. A2M Milk, which we put on yesterday, again, it did have a big run yesterday. It did run. It was up 13%. It has just given up 3% today. Doesn't bother me at all. I mean, this MACD and the signal is very, very, very bullish. I do think we've got a sort of target price in this stock around this sort of 185 level in the next 3 weeks. I think we've got a nice little 8-9% return out of it. I think if you bought it less than 170 or around these sort of 166, you'll do even better. Again, the good news for A2M Milk, I think they enter the ASX 200 tomorrow, so which is interesting. A lot of the big funds will then have to grab a piece of this company, and it should only make the story stronger and hopefully push the share price up. But again, the chart looks very, very strong, and if you didn't get in it, if you didn't get in it sort of this morning or today, just have a look and get in it tomorrow, because it does look really, really good. I'd just like to talk about the banks. I know a lot of the members do have the banks, and we've been sort of really negative for the banks for the long term, and I think the banks just look worse and worse. I mean, if you just look at them here on this is ANZ. You can have a look. It's like, looks terrible. Can't get through the moving average. Can't even get through the 200. Goes down. It looks terrible. I mean, I think ANZ is definitely going to go down and retest 22. And if it breaks 22, ANZ potentially could go a lot lower. I certainly, I reckon if it breaks 22, maybe you've got 20. And if you remember ANZ before, and I've said this before, it can move pretty violently. The stock in the GFC, it went down as low as nearly $12. So just be careful of that one. It does look really, really weak, and the chart looks absolutely terrible. As does obviously sort of look at Bendigo Bank. It just looks absolutely horrendous. Looks terrible. NAB just looks absolutely horrible. So you can see NAB at one stage it looked like it was trying to trying to improve. It couldn't really stay 1 week, and often say we like the stocks to trade a good week over the moving average, and listen, the next week it just sold straight back down again. If you look at that chart, it's pretty predictable, and I think NAB's going lower. It looks very, very, very weak. Arguably, I say the only Westpac as well. Just have a look at these banks. They generally speaking look terrible. I could argue maybe Westpac's got a little bit of support at 28, but if it breaks 28, Westpac's got a lot. I think if it breaks 28, I'd say Westpac's could go a lot lower, maybe 20, 24, 25. So there is possibly I think that 28 is a big support level for Westpac. The only bank that sort of I think looks fairly reasonable is Commonwealth, whereby Commonwealth does hold that $70 level, where it's been back a few times recently. It looks like it's going to go back and retest it. However, if it broke that $70 level, I'd be pretty nervous. This is on a weekly chart. I'd be pretty nervous with Commonwealth, because it did have this big run up here. Potentially it could go down at least, say, 65. If it didn't hold 65, 55. A lot of risks in the banks at the moment. I'm very glad. The best thing about Equity Story, and just showing you two of the trends we've got on at the moment, is that we don't want you to be in those type of stocks. They're risky, they're dangerous. We want you to be in these type of stocks. We want you to be in good, solid trends going up. And the banks have looked awful for a long time. And yes, they pay a dividend, but at the end of the day, if these banks keep getting sold down, that dividend might not be as stable as everybody thinks. I just like to say every week, Equity Story, we'll put out a number of stocks that we believe have sort of, how do you say, sort of bullish signals, and we don't put them as part of our results. I mean, if we did put them as part of our results, I think those on their own would beat any other website, share advice website in the history of Australia. But you can go back on Einstein's training blog and you can have a look. I'd just like to say the ASX 200 has been down about 3% so far this week. And if you look at the stocks that we said had classic buy signals, they're actually, all in all, I mean, some of them are, but they're actually slightly up this week. And if you look at our stocks that we said would be bullish this week, again, it wasn't surprising. There's a lot of gold stocks looking good. 3 hit record highs today. Again, these stocks are slightly up, which is absolutely incredible in a market that's gone down 3%. So those weekly buy and sell signals, I know a lot of people do trade them. They do have a huge cult following. Again, they're looking like they're really hit some goals again this week. And equally, the ones we said look like they're going down, or sell signals. Surprise, surprise, there were some of the banks in there. And look here, we got AHG, Bank of Queensland, and SRX all hitting record lows. So again, SRX really looks awful. Look at that. Had a really quite a nasty fall this week, down from 27.79 down to 26.59 at one stage. And Bank of Queensland, for me, if I held this stock, I'd be a bit of a worry. It would need to bounce back up over 10.50 tomorrow, or you'd have to get out. I mean, it's broken that support level, and for me, there's great danger there. So if it's not back over 10.50 by tomorrow evening, I'll certainly be getting out of Bank of Queensland. It looks awful. So a word of warning on those banks again. Our buy and sell signals again have done incredible things, outperforming the market by over 300%, and it's something obviously we're really proud of the things here we do at Equity Story. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for listening to Equity Story, and I look forward to bringing you this report tomorrow night.